Chocolate-covered strawberries are a great gift for someone you love. However, they can be very expensive, but you can make them at home all by yourself for much cheaper. Today I'll be teaching you how to make chocolate-covered strawberries. If you or someone you love likes chocolate-covered strawberries, you will want to pay close attention to this video. First, I will tell you about all the materials you will need to gather for chocolate-covered strawberries. Then I will tell you how to properly wash, rinse, and dry your strawberries. Then I will tell you how to melt your chocolate. After that, I will tell you how to dip your strawberries into your chocolate or cover your strawberries in chocolate and then place them to dry. After that, I will tell you how to cool or harden your strawberries and store them. First, I'll tell you about all of the materials you'll need to gather to make chocolate-covered strawberries. You will need a bowl with some warm water and salt to wash your strawberries or soak your strawberries. You will need paper towels to dry them. You will need a baking sheet or parchment paper and a tray to place them to dry and to cool them. You will need a storage box and cupcake holders to store them. You will also need strawberries and chocolate, which are the most important part because that's the final product. And you will need a spoon to mix your chocolate. Now that I have told you about all the materials you'll need to gather, I will tell you how to properly wash, rinse, and dry your strawberries. Wash, rinsing, and drying your strawberries is a very tedious process. You must soak your strawberries in warm salt water in a bowl for about 5 to 7 minutes. You will want to soak them in salt water instead of regular water because salt water kills bacteria easier and it kills more bacteria. After you've soaked them, you will want to rinse them a couple times to make sure that they are not salty, and you'll want to lay out a paper towel for them to dry. Now that your paper towel is laid out, you will want to take each individual strawberry and dry them individually. And you will want to dry them 100% completely so that way the chocolate will stick. If they are not fully dry, the chocolate will not stick. Now that I have told you how to properly wash, rinse, and dry your strawberries, I will teach you how to properly melt your chocolate. Melting your chocolate is a very precise process. I chose Baker's Dipping Chocolate, which is the chocolate of my choice. However, you can choose a chocolate of your choice. You will want to microwave your chocolate in 30-second intervals. You should use 30-second intervals and then take it out and stir it between every interval to make sure that your chocolate does not burn. After the first 30-second interval, it should look something like this. Not very melted, but be sure to stir it still so that way it doesn't burn. After the last 30-second interval, it should start to look something like this, very soupy. Make sure you mix it one more good time to make sure it is melted all the way through. Now that I have taught you how to melt your chocolate, I will teach you how to dip your strawberries into the chocolate and place them to dry, which is a very tedious process. Dipping your strawberries in chocolate and placing them in chocolate can get very messy. So you will want to take your strawberry and dip it into your chocolate at an angle, being sure to coat the strawberry completely in chocolate. Once covered completely, you will want to pull it out on its side so that way the drip mark will now be on the back of the strawberry, which is where you're going to place it on your parchment paper to dry. Now that I have taught you how to completely dip and place your strawberries to dry, I will teach you how to cool and store your strawberries. Cooling and storing your strawberries is the easy part. You can make it simple or pretty, either way. Once your strawberries are all placed onto your baking sheet after pulling them out of the chocolate, You will want to place them in the freezer for about 5 to 7 minutes. This step is crucial because if not, your strawberries will not harden or cool all the way, so when you go to move them to the storage containers, they will get messed up because the chocolate will still be wet. Once they are completely dried and hardened, you will want to move them to the cupcake holders for storage. After that, you will want to move them to a storage box of your choice. I chose a pretty white decorative box. You can choose a basic simple box. It's all up to you. After that, you will want to store them in your fridge in the box so that way they stay cool and hard. Now that I have taught you how to make chocolate covered strawberries, you can start gifting them to your loved ones or even start selling them for cheaper than average, just like me.